Hi, everyone. I wanted to reach out to you all in my mask and gloves so you could see what's happening here in my neck of the woods, what's going on in my world, and I want to hear what's going on in your world. So I wanted to do this as an example to let you know how things are happening in real estate right now. So I really just wanted to reach out to all of you because I've heard from many of you with questions and concerns, whether you should put your house on the market now, whether you should wait. Is this a good time to buy? Is this a good time to sell? So I thought the best thing to do would be to reach out and just try to answer your questions. I hope everyone's doing well. I have talked to many of you personally and via email and some through Zoom conference, which has been great. I just wanted to let you know how I've been managing to sell real estate in the last month and a half. So I've been very fortunate to have 5 properties under agreement in the last 6 weeks. And I'm really calling and reaching out just to sort of share with you how I'm doing that and to let you know that you can still sell right now if you want to, and you still can get a fair price. First and foremost, I just wanted to say that we're not in a housing crisis. Okay, we're in a health crisis. And I know many of my clients work right out on the front lines, and my heart goes out to all of you. Thank you for all that you do every day, all the nurses and police officers and firefighters and EMT workers and doctors. I know this is a really tough time. So thank you. And I'm sure all my clients feel the same. So we're having a lot of challenges right now, but it's nothing that we can't meet. It's nothing that we can't fix. We have come up with plans to handle all of them as best that we can. So these are really unprecedented times. And there's new guidelines we have to follow as realtors. Of course, we have the CDC guidelines and we have our state guidelines, but we also have local guidelines. So some communities are not allowing any showings right now. Towns like Medford. In Danvers, we're allowed to show, but we're not allowed to have any open houses. But if you do want to sell right now, we've come up with a plan to make that happen. So we allow 3 visitors in the house at a time. That would be a buyer, the buyers and their agent. And we are doing that by appointment only within a certain time frame, just as if we were going to have an open house, but instead in that 2-hour time frame, we set up the appointments privately. And we're lucky that in Massachusetts, we're able to do that. Some states like Pennsylvania, they are not allowing any physical showings at all on any properties. You are not allowed at all to physically open a door. And one agent actually almost got arrested by a police officer for visiting a vacant property. So states like Pennsylvania and I guess Michigan as well is not allowing any showings at all. So we're lucky in Massachusetts that we can continue on with our business and continue to provide service to our clients, sellers and buyers. So I just wanted to share with you what we're doing to make that happen. So the big question is, should I sell now or should I wait? And this is what clients are reaching out and asking me. When's the best time to sell? And of course, those are really hard questions because we are in this health crisis and we don't know exactly when the economy is going to come back and when they're going to lift the stay-at-home order. We're all practicing social distancing and we're all trying to be good citizens and abide by the rules. And so we want to do that, but we also want to move on with our lives if we need to sell a property. I have some clients who have vacant properties that need to be sold. I have some clients who have lost their job and need to sell. I have some clients that have already purchased homes that need to sell. So these are people, they need to move their real estate, and we can do that. We can make that happen. So as far as selling now versus waiting, there is low inventory right now still in Massachusetts and in the local communities. And I am located in Danvers, so I do sell a lot in Danvers, but I do service all the other towns, surrounding towns. So low inventory is in just about every town in Massachusetts, okay? So as far as selling right now, it's good because there's less competition. And some of my clients have asked me, what about job security and people that are coming and putting these offers? How do we know they won't lose their job and not be able to purchase the house? Well, we don't know that for certain, but we do know that 70% of all citizens in Massachusetts are still employed, still have secure employment. And we know that 15% are temporarily laid off and the other 15% as well. But we still have 70% that convert just right now. So that's good. So that tells you there are people out there still looking. And along with the low inventory, most sellers, most Americans have equity in their home right now. At least 50% of all Americans have equity in their home, and 37% are free and clear, have no mortgage at all. And I'm getting data that the average equity Americans have is $177,000. This information is all coming from Keeping Current Matters, a blog that I subscribe to, which is a compilation of different reports from different economists throughout the United States. I did manage to, on all of my recent listings, get multiple bids and have bidding wars, and those properties all went over asking price by roughly, give or take, 5%. So those properties were placed on the market at fair market value and still sold for roughly 5% above fair market value. So that just goes to show you that the inventory is still low, there's still buyers looking, and it's still a seller's market. Now, if you're a buyer and you're wondering, should I buy right now? There are less buyers looking, I will say that. So there's less competition for you as a buyer out there. And very important is the interest rates are very low. And expected to even go lower. This information I'm sharing with you is information I'm getting from the chief economist of the National Association of Realtors, Lawrence Yun. I listen to him weekly, and he is projecting that interest rates could still fall below 3% for a brief period of time. So in low interest rates and not a lot of competition is also a good equation for buying right now. So I have a few slides that I'd like to share with you that show the unemployment rates and how they compare to past recessions. Another slide that shows that we are projected to be in a V-shaped recovery. So if you do decide you want to sell right now, once we get your property under contract, or if you're the buyer and you get a property under contract, the next step is going to be to have your inspection. And home inspectors are still working. So you can have your inspection, but we have to practice social distancing. The inspectors would like for the sellers not to be home during the inspection so that they can get their inspection done as quickly as possible and just work side by side with their buyers. They prefer to have as few people there as possible. So again, with some of the town's guidelines being that only 3 people could be in the house at a time, that would just be the buyers and the inspector. So myself is considered non-essential. If I'm the listing agent, I just need to open the door and let them in, or lock up when they're finished. So that's how inspections are getting done right now. Everyone is wearing, as you know, gloves and mask and shoe covers, which we also have. We can provide for the inspectors and people that come in your house. And I forgot to mention that we have plenty of shoe covers, or people can remove their shoes. And once you get through the inspection, we're moving right on to purchase and sale, which is being done electronically. So you don't have to meet in person. You can sign that right on your computer. If you don't have access to that, then we can drop off paperwork, you can sign it, and then we can pick it up and get it to the attorney. So we're handling all of these things electronically and digitally and without having to meet in person. Once we get through that step, we go on to appraisal. So there's some new guidelines with appraisals too, which is helpful actually. So they're doing appraisals in 3 ways. Fannie and Freddie Mac have created what's called an appraisal waiver. So if you're putting down 20% or more, chances are your appraisal could get waived, which has just happened to me on one of my listings, which is awesome. So we don't have to worry about that step. Another listing that I have, the appraisals is just a drive-by, because they're putting down enough money as well. They're just driving by, taking a look at the property. They reached out to me. The appraiser asked me for the photos. Of course, we have some other means as well. I forgot to mention video tours, virtual tours to help people see the property without going in. So we have the virtual tours and the photos we can send them, and they drive by and they do their appraisal that way. And then also traditional appraisal. So if you're going for an FHA loan or any kind of government loan, they're probably likely still going to do a traditional appraisal. So the appraiser is going to need to get into the property. And once we get through that, we're just moving on to financing. So there are some delays with financing I have seen on my other listings. Luckily, one closed yesterday, and it was delayed, but only by 2 days, so not too bad. The financing portion was where we got delayed. So once we move on to financing, we just need to get the clear to close. Our 3 favorite words: clear to close. As soon as we hear that, we know we can schedule the closing. And closings are also working differently now, of course. They don't want any non-essential people at the closing, which would be me. I'm not considered essential, so I would simply deliver to the attorney's office the original smoke certificate and sewer certificate and any keys that I have, any checks that I have, and they get overnighted to the closing attorney's office. People are doing power of attorney right now too, the buyers and sellers. The sellers are not attending. Buyers usually do attend and sign. So some attorneys' offices are passing packages out to the car, and the buyers are signing in the car, and then they're picking up the package. So really everyone's doing their best to social distance so that we can make these closings happen and keep everybody safe and healthy, which is our goal. And then when it comes time for actually recording at the registry, they are doing digital electronic recordings, or they're also doing via drop-off boxes, drop boxes for closing packages. So it's working. It's working. We're making it work, and I'm having luck with getting these properties under agreement and getting them closed. So I wanted to share that with you so you wouldn't be nervous if you're one of the people that is getting ready to put the house on the market this spring, which was here until it snowed, but we always know we get that last snowstorm when we're least expecting it, right? It'll be melted and gone before we know it. So I'm hoping in a few more weeks, hopefully by May, we'll get some good news. We hope that this surge in the uptick that's happening right now with COVID-19, that, we're getting more and more people that are getting sick every day, but they did say this was going to be our peak time. So hopefully in a few weeks, we'll be leveling off and then going down, because to my understanding, the governor said once we have several days of declines in COVID-19, new cases and deaths, then we know we're on the right path to everyone getting better. And the sooner that happens, the sooner we can open up our economy again. And the good thing is that some of the jobs will come back right away, like daycares and dentists and barbershops. We all know we can't wait to get back to the hairdresser and the salons. Other parts of the economy are going to take longer to recover, like the airlines and the cruise ships and things like that, travel. So we don't know exactly how long those will take, but they're predicting maybe within 6 months to a year. So they don't know, but Lawrence Yun, and I have a slide for that, which I'll show you now, is predicting it's between 1 and 2 years that all economy will come back to normal, which is much better than when we had the Great Depression and the Great Recession. So take a look at that slide. So if you have any questions about putting your house on the market, if you have any questions about going out and buying a house right now, please reach out. I have not just my cloth mask, but I have other masks I can provide. I have gloves, shoe covers, and all of that, so to protect you if you want to look at properties and you don't have those items. And please, everyone, be safe out there, stay healthy, follow the guidelines, and we can come up with a plan if you need to put your property on in May or June or sooner, and just reach out and let me know. All right. And I hope I answered some questions for you. And if not, please let me know if there's anything else I could do for you. All right. Thanks. Stay safe. Hi. Thanks again for watching.
To see more videos with real estate tips and trends, please subscribe to my YouTube channel right here. And if you check out my website, realestateonthenorthshore.com, you'll find a complimentary staging guide full of great information about how to get your house ready to put on the market. But give me a call, I'm happy to help. See you soon.